it's pretty much just the same for me, really. Obviously, there's a little title added to the side, I suppose, but yeah, nothing too different, I suppose, especially with Sam kind of not being here or leaving at the moment. Yeah, there's a kind of a strong voice and a leader gone, but I guess it's just picking up a little bit of load from where his messages are driving around the forward pack. But apart from that, it's just pretty much the same, and hopefully lead through my actions on the weekend.
Yeah, Brodie spoke before about kind of wanting to go for the clean sweep of the Wallabies this weekend. Is that something that you guys have discussed as players? And why do you think, I know you weren't playing last year, but over the last few years, why do you think you haven't quite been able to nail the kind of clean sweeps of the Wallabies?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think, like we put so much focus on winning the Bledisloe Cup, and obviously you only need to do that twice. And then, I guess when you do win it, you can kind of mentally slip a little bit or relax a little bit, because you've achieved the goal, I suppose, of winning the Bledisloe. But to go out there and do a clean sweep, as Fozzie probably touched on, it hasn't been done that many times in the last 10 years. So I think it's a challenge for this team this week. It's also another game that's going to add to the Rugby Championship, and it's the first time this team's going to play 5 test matches in a row over the next few weeks since I've been in here. So being able to win any game is going to be massively important to obviously fulfilling the goal of trying to win the Rugby Championship as well.
Cool. Mark, do you want to go next? Mark Hinton. This is Mark Hinton from Staff, guys.
Hi, Brodie. Mark here. Can you just talk to, I guess, playing a third game in a row against the same, team you've already beaten twice? I mean, is that a kind of a mental challenge? You've obviously maybe been in those situations before. How are you approaching it this week?
Yeah, I think it's the mental side of this week is massively, probably more so than the physical side in terms of preparation. Obviously, kind of like I just touched on with Ollie. Obviously, we've kind of wrapped the Bledisloe up before leaving New Zealand, and I thought, especially in the second game, the Australian team turned up with real physicality. I thought we played well and absorbed it before trying to break them down a little bit. But again, obviously there's the side of we've already won the cup, and then coming over here, they're going to be desperate. They're back on their home turf in Perth, where for the team last year got a real wake-up call. So it's definitely the mental challenge this week of making sure that we prepare well and being up for, no doubt, a massive another physical challenge.
Thanks, mate. And just one more from me. I think 7 of the 8 of the pack that started that last Bledisloe at Eden Park, run out again. And the only change, obviously, is with Sammy, who stayed behind. Can you just speak to the continuity, what you guys as a pack hope to achieve, I guess, on the back of a pretty good effort last time out? Can you be even better this week?
Yeah, I hope so. I think obviously getting to play alongside a similar group each week obviously helps the continuity, especially around some of the phase play, line out, scrum. You start to work each other out. But I think, like you say, that's a challenge for this pack, especially some boys that might not have been in this place before, of playing the team 3 times in a row and already wrapping up the Bledisloe. So I hope it's if not better or the same performance, because no doubt the Wallabies are going to be turning up. They've been sitting here for a few weeks now waiting for this game, and they'll be desperate to win as well.
Tom, this is Tom Binnicom from Rugby Pass. Yes?
Okay, Brodie. Hair's looking good. Did you manage to get that trimmed before you head over to Perth?
That's it. I was actually, I've been asking Geordie if he can cut my hair this week, but he said he's willing to take it on, so we'll see what happens between now and the game.
Hey, young fella, Tipo Vai, obviously, first chance for you to actually play alongside him this week. What have you seen from him sort of, in the squad? And I mean, you must be looking forward to, pairing up with him ahead of Chiefs season next year.
Yeah, it's great, obviously, to see another Chiefs lock in here. And, Tupo's been in here last year and then this year. So, we've kind of been in opposition teams at training otherwise so far. But, I think he's got a great skill set when he carries the ball with his catch and pass and his offload and his footwork. are pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing him getting his chance this weekend. And if I happen to be alongside him in the scrum or out there playing, then hopefully I can run off him.
Bum said he was like a young Brodie Retallick. What do you think that means?
I'm not sure. Hopefully it's not an insult. No, I'm not sure, mate. I'll leave that to Plum.
Awesome. And just one other thing. Obviously, this is your 5th game for the All Blacks this year after an absence last year. Obviously, it's a bit stop-start, but how's the body feeling for you personally? And have you sort of had a welcome reminder of what Test rugby's like?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, the getting some consistent games like playing the couple of Fiji games and then the 2 Bledisloes, it's been good to get those games a little bit more consistent. Obviously, there's been a little bit of a stop-start now with what's going on, but it's great getting some more time to settle, and obviously we're going to get that over the next 5 weeks, especially after the second Auckland game. The body was pretty sore. I didn't do too much for those first 2 or 3 days post that game, but I think physically it's starting to get pretty conditioned to Test rugby after the last 10 days of being over here as well.
Yeah, same row.
What he provides is experience and great leadership. I think he is a great player to have out there on the field, and I suppose the good thing about this group is that you got someone like Brodie Retallick who steps into that role of leadership and just goes about his work and should fill that void, I think. And also Scott Barrett, who plays alongside Sammy every year in Super Rugby, and sort of knows what it takes to fill a guy's shoes like Sammy. But I think what we've got in terms of our locks here already is pretty exciting as well. So
from a leadership point of view, obviously you've come into that leadership group now. What's the experience been like for you?
It's been good. I think this team's focus is we've got new challenges ahead of us with this game this weekend. There were talks around Bledisloe and stuff, but for us it's about the rugby championship now. So for me, it's just, I suppose, not looking to do anything more than what I already do. It's just being there for the lads and performing well first, and then I can, that's the way I want to lead. So, yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Cool. We'll go to Ollie Ritchie from News Hub Kites.
Hey, Codie. Just Brodie was kind of alluding to it before, but just the continuity of this forward pack, obviously apart from Sam, it's the same one that ran out against the Wallabies. Is that kind of beneficial, and how useful is it, I suppose, having that pretty much the same 8 guys out there to do the job again?
I suppose in a sense that the majority of the forward pack played those last 2 tests against Aussie helps. Combinations are building nicely, and in that sense it's a good thing. And then there's on the bench there's a couple new faces in the forward pack that get an opportunity, and that's exciting as well. This squad sort of pride ourselves on being able to fill into those roles if you get the opportunity, and we're going to see that with the likes of Toops and Ethan Blackadder gets another nudge at playing against a pretty good team at home. So
you probably don't have the fondest memories of Optus Stadium, given what happened there in 2019. Is that defeat a couple of years ago discussed at all, or is it parked to one side?
It's been mentioned, yeah. I remember that very clearly, that game. It wasn't great, and I just remember alluding to that game as a big learning for us. We probably thought we could just turn up and do the same thing that we had done previously, and a team like Australia, that we've got a lot to prove. They're dangerous, and they're at home, so they'll back themselves. They'll be quite confident, I think, this weekend. So. And they've been waiting here for the last couple of weeks. I think, it's going to be a tough challenge for us to go out there and sort of make up for what was a couple of years ago.
Just lastly from me, given, I suppose, the drama that played out off the field in terms of your guys' delayed arrival in Perth, do you expect any sort of extra edge to this game, probably from the Wallabies' point of view, given you mentioned they've been waiting there a while and they've been pretty vocal, certainly their coach has been pretty vocal about their disappointment. Do you expect any extra edge come Sunday over?
I think if they'll have other things that'll be trying to fire them up, I imagine. Professional footy, there's a little bit of politics involved, and I think that's what it came down to at the end of the day. And their coach will, be firing them up in more ways than one, I think. And I think, like I said earlier, they have a lot to prove, so it's going to be a bloody physical battle, I imagine. And they'll be out to sort of make up for what's been.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, we'll go Richard Nola.
Hey Codie, just when you talk about physicality, do you think as an All Black forward pack you're there in terms you want and in terms of physicality and where you want to be, or do you think you can lift it a few more notches?
I think we're getting there. I think we talk a lot around intent and nailing detail within the forward pack, and I think we're getting that. The more games we consistently play, the more likely that's going to happen. And we've got Aussie this weekend, and then a couple of big challenges coming up after that, and those will be real tests for us as well. But pretty happy and confident of where we're at and where we want to get to. We're a team that's striving for excellence every day, and there's always something to be worked on. So I think we're making the right steps.
Is it something you have to be mindful as well, just given the off-field politics and what Dave Rooney sort of said? Is that something you have to be mindful of, because if the Aussies are going to be chipping away and using that as motivation in whatever way they do, that discipline for you guys?
The Aussies are always chipping away on the field, so I think we're going to, whether or not it's going to be different fuel for them, I'm not sure, but I don't think they're going to, provide any more chat than what they already do. We get a lot of banter out there on the field, and there's no love lost between the two teams, that's for sure. So I'm not sure, but we're going to find out Sunday, and it's about us going out there and doing what we're focusing on too. So.
Just the last one. Do you enjoy that part of it? The chatting, and sometimes you can see the cameras, you seem to be staying a wee bit back. Do you enjoy that side of it, or does that roll?
I don't openly go out to talk smack or anything, but I'll not want to step away from it. And if there's something that needs to be said, I'll say it. But I'd like to think that I just get on with the job and throw chat where it's needed.
All right. Cheers.
Tom, do you want to go again?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Codie, just it must be nice that a guy like Pete Samu leaves the Crusaders and then you still get to see him every now and then when he runs out the Wallabies. Yeah,
it's good. There's there's still a lot of strong friendships among like Petey and a few of the Seder boys. He spent a big amount of time of his career with us, and see him, I suppose. He hasn't played the last couple of games, but to still catch up with him, it's nice. He's had a wee baby since he's moved on, so it's cool to be able to connect with him in that sense. And he's a good bloke. They're all good blokes, mate. It's just Aussie versus New Zealand, that's all.
On the other side of the coin, when he's a guy who's a former teammate of yours, you'd likely to give him a bit more stick on the field?
I probably wouldn't, to be fair. He doesn't say much, old Petey. He just gets on with his job, and there's a lot of respect there for him. But if there's an opportunity to get one over him, then it's always nice. But not one to go out and look for it either.
Awesome, cheers.
Elliot, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Just one from me, Codie. Ian Foster was saying you've been elevated into the All Blacks leadership group. I'm not sure if that was for this championship or at the start of the year, but what's that experience been like for you?
It's just been this week, so it's a new thing for me. Nothing's really changed, to be fair. I've had open conversations with Foz earlier, and AB's campaigns around just being a leader that's not in the group, I suppose. And I don't try and go out of my way and do things different, and just hopefully be able to connect with most of the lads and be a voice when it's needed, and drive the little things really well. But yeah, it's I know I've been in these roles before, so I think for me it's just about performing well first, and then the leadership comes off the back of that. So, yeah.
Cool. I think you're done, Codes. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
For that.